Hey everyone, so come on in, because tonight's topic is one of those topics that I know a lot of people have had conversation about, questions about, and I want to make sure that I get you your answers tonight. So, we have been talking about things nobody told you about when buying new construction, right? And so we're on episode four tonight. Why your monthly payment isn't just your mortgage. This is a huge topic, understanding your property taxes and how that works, and your HOA fees and homeowners insurance, mud taxes, all of those things added into your monthly note. And so that's what we're going to discuss tonight. So I want you to kind of think about something right quick. Have you ever looked at a beautiful new construction home and went and figured out the monthly notes as being maybe like $2,100 a month, right? And you feel like, oh, I can afford that. But then when you start talking to the sales agent, or you start talking to the loan officer, really, you figure out that $2,100 has increased to $2,500 a month. And then you start thinking, where is this extra stuff coming from? Where are these extra fees coming from? So that's what we're discussing tonight. It's not that people are hiding anything from you, or that they made a mistake on the numbers or something like that. It's really that most buyers don't understand everything that goes into that mortgage note. And so that's what we're discussing tonight, okay? So good evening for everyone. My name is Gwen Ransom. I'm your intentional agent, and I am a realtor and new construction specialist here in Fort Bend County and surrounding areas. And so every week I've been coming on, breaking down this home buying process for new construction, answering questions that you may not have thought about when it comes down to purchasing new construction, and educating you on the process. And so my goal isn't to convince you to purchase a home tonight. My goal is to help you understand the process, so that when you are ready, you feel comfortable enough to be able to go and get the information that you're going to need, that it's going to be best for you and your family. So if you're watching live, please let me know you're here. Put down in the comments where you're watching from. If you have any questions about tonight's topic, then also put that down there so that we can get your questions answered. Okay? So let's get started. Right? Your mortgage is only one piece of your mortgage note. Okay? One of the biggest misunderstandings I see is that people think that their mortgage payment is just paying back the loan that was borrowed to buy the house. And that's only one part of it, right? Think about it like ordering a meal at a restaurant. When you're looking at that menu, right, you're looking at the entree is one price, the appetizer is one price, the drinks are one price, the dessert is one price. And then when you start looking, you're looking at the appetizer and you get that right, and you add this other stuff onto your bill. And then at the end of the bill comes, when your final bill comes, you see the prices, right? But then you look down at the bottom of that receipt also, and you see some other fees that's been added. So you see the taxes that's been added onto your bill. You see the tips that's being added onto the bill. You might see gratuity added onto the bill. And then you have a final price. Okay? So that is something like how your mortgage is set up. Okay? On your mortgage, when you're looking at it, there are some other things that are added into your mortgage note monthly, that you're paying monthly and annually, that gives you that whole mortgage note. And so when we're talking about your mortgage, that's just the one piece of it. Your monthly note is made up of several pieces, not just the mortgage. So once you understand those pieces, everything starts to make sense. Okay, and I'm gonna break those pieces down for you. Let's go ahead on and start talking about these property taxes, because I know this has been a subject that a lot of people are discuss at the end of the year when they get their property tax bill. Some people are blindsided with their bill and did not know some things were added into their mortgage note, right? And so when it comes down to your property taxes help pay for the things like the schools, the parks, the police and fire departments, the roads that's in your area, libraries and other community services that's going to be in your area, right? That's what the property taxes pay. Okay. Now, here's something that many buyers don't know. So 2 homes that are in the same community, exact same community, or at the exact same price can be different monthly notes because they are located in a different tax areas. Okay. So when you're going in to talk to a sales agent and stuff like that, you want to make sure, or when you're talking to your loan officer, especially your loan officer, right? You want to make sure that these are some of the questions that you're asking. What is the property taxes for the area? Okay. That's going to be a huge thing that's going to be in your tax, that's going to be added into your monthly note. So when you're looking at your monthly note, when you're looking at your mortgage, you have your monthly note that you're paying off for the loan. Okay. And then you have your property taxes that's added into that. Now, when you're buying new construction, you also have to realize, and a lot of times, especially my first time home buyers are not told. I always tell my buyers when I go into a buyer's consultation, when we're buying new construction, your house taxes, your property taxes are assessed on the land. Okay. It's only assessed on the land. So when you get your first monthly note, when you first sign off on your closing disclosures and stuff like that, you're going to see an amount on there for your property taxes. That is the property taxes for just the land. After the home is built, okay, that's when the tax department goes back out and they reassess the land with the house added on. Okay, so your monthly note starts at $2,000 a month. Okay, that's when you first buy the home. And then when you get your property taxes in January, February, you notice that there has been a huge increase. A lot of people I heard, discussed it, talked about it, that didn't understand that when those property taxes come out, your home has been reassessed in the property taxes. And so, yes, it's going to go up. Okay. When I talk to my buyers, I let them know that this is a possibility. It is probably going to happen that when you're buying new construction, even though you start off at $2,000 for that first year or first 6 months, however long it is within that year, you get your property taxes that next year, you're going to expect an increase. So put money to the side. Okay. Take out a couple of $100s, put it to the side. And then that way, when your property taxes come, you have money to be able to go ahead on and put that into your escrow account to cover those increases in property taxes. Okay. That is a huge thing that some buyers don't understand or are not told. If you're depending on who you're working with, if you're working with a realtor or you're working with the sales agent, make sure you ask that question when you're buying new construction. What are the property taxes based off of? Are they based off of just the land? Okay, when you go to closing and you're signing that paperwork, are the property taxes based off of just land? And will the home be reassessed to include the home built on the land when it comes down to the property taxes? Okay, so that is a huge, huge thing. A lot of people were blindsided. I know, especially after COVID, a lot of people were blindsided with not knowing that their mortgage was going to increase due to the property taxes, and it happened. And, you know, a lot of people had a hard time with trying to figure out what to do because their monthly note increased so much because the property taxes. Okay. So that is something that is into your mortgage payment when you're paying monthly. So you're paying your mortgage note, all right, and then you're paying property taxes. Okay. So those are two things right there. Now, when we talk about our HOA fees, which is Homeowners Association fees. Now, usually those Homeowners Association fees are annually. They're going to come out at the end of the year. And that is a separate payment from your monthly note, okay? But like I said, when I talk to my buyers in my buyer's consultation, I'm making sure that they understand, put money to the side, because when you're first coming in, you're talking to the sales agent, they're going to let you know how much that HOA fee is annually, okay? Expect a bill in the mail, January, February, from your homeowners association for that amount. So if you already know that your homeowners association is $400 a year, put $400 to the side so when that bill comes, you can already pay that. Now, I know HOA, just those three letters, or homeowners association, is not something that everybody, you know, likes or want to deal with, okay? But you also have to, there's a good side and a bad side to HOA, right? Some people hear HOA and they immediately think it's just another bill and it's not going to benefit, you know, where I'm staying at or the community. But you have to ask yourself, those amenities that are being built in that community, who's paying for that, right? When you're looking at a community, I say all the time, when you're looking at a community, you're looking at a neighborhood to purchase a home in, you want to make sure that those amenities, anything that you're paying HOA fees for, you have access to. Amenities, the pool, the lazy river, the community park, the walking trails, the dog parks, you know, anything, amenity, that HOA fee is covering that. It's covering the maintenance of it, the upkeep of it. And so, you know, HOAs are not always bad. Some of them can be. Some of them, you know, they have their little, but some of them can be. But the main thing that I look at as a HOA is that it keeps your property values high, right? So when you're looking at HOAs and you're looking at the community, if you are a person a homeowner now who is selling your home and your next door neighbor has junk cars in their driveway and oil stains on their driveway, or their yard is high grass and stuff like that, and you're trying to sell your home, do you think that when a buyer comes to look at your home, they're not looking at the neighbor's house too and seeing who's in the neighborhood and how is this neighborhood being upkept and what this neighborhood is offering as far as amenities, what's going to benefit for my family when we're living in this neighborhood? Y'all, HOAs are there for a reason, right? Like I said, some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of them don't keep up with a lot of that. But when you're talking to your sales agent, to your realtor, make sure you ask about, what does the HOA fees cover? What am I getting for my money? If I'm paying $400 a year, then what am I getting? What is that going to cover? Will I have access to the gym that's on site? Will I be able to have a party at the community center up there, you know, for my family and stuff like that? Will I be able to get into the pool without having issues and stuff? Can I invite my family and stuff? Those are some of the questions that you want to make sure that you are asking when you're talking about HOAs. Okay, so HOAs, they have their goods, they have pros and they have cons. Like I say, I always think of HOA as being good for me, because then that way it can keep my property value up by keeping the neighborhood, the community up maintenance and looking good. Okay, so you have property taxes, you have your HOA fees, and then another thing that we have, homeowners insurance. Okay, so let's talk about the homeowners insurance. So most of us have car insurance because we want that protection if something unexpected happens, right? And so homeowners insurance works the same way. Okay, homeowner insurance is going to cover the house if there's a fire, if there's water damage, whatever it is, right? A lot of loans, some of these loans that we have, the FHA loan and stuff like that, homeowners insurance is required. You got to have it, right? And it's a peace of mind to know that your house is covered. Okay, now when it comes down to the cost, it can vary depending on the home and depending on the coverage you choose, and some other factors too, right? But that is another piece of your monthly payment that buyers sometimes forget to include when they're planning their budget. Okay, now you can shop around for homeowners insurance. Okay, you don't have to just go with one homeowners insurance and that's it. And the prices are high and it's that has your mortgage high. You can actually shop around for homeowners insurance. You can also bundle, a lot of insurance companies will like for you to bundle the house and the car. Okay, and then you get discounts and stuff like that. But homeowners insurance is one of those things that affect your monthly note. Okay, so you have your mortgage that you're paying. That's going to be your base price, your mortgage that you're paying. Then you have the property taxes that is also going into that monthly note, and then you have your homeowners association fees that also go. Homeowners association is separate, but then you have your homeowners insurance that goes into that monthly note, and then that makes the monthly note, right? One other thing that we also discuss is MUD taxes. And what is that? What is MUD taxes? MUD taxes are, MUD stands for Municipal Utility District. Okay, so MUD taxes are where a new community comes in, right? New community is being built, and someone has to pay for the roads, the water lines, the drainage, the sewage systems, and other infrastructures that's going to make that neighborhood livable. So that's where your MUD taxes come in. A MUD district helps finance those improvements, okay? And so the cost is collected through your property taxes, okay? Not every neighborhood has MUD taxes. That is definitely one of the things that you really ask about when you're starting to look for homes and stuff like that, especially in the new communities, right? Because a lot of new communities are, what they do is they hook into the city lines and stuff like that, and becomes the MUD to cover those hookups. So you want to make sure that you're asking that question about how much is MUD taxes? What is that going to cost me? Okay. And if there's any questions that y'all want to ask, please put them in the comments so that we can go over them. But I wanted to make sure that you understand that your total monthly payment before you make one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, how this monthly payment works. Okay. So things are put into escrow when you get your monthly note, when you get your bill from your loan company. It goes into an escrow account. An escrow account is set up so that you're paying your monthly note, your property taxes, your homeowners insurance, your MUD taxes, all of that into this escrow account monthly. Okay, all of that's going into monthly, and then at the end of the year, your mortgage company is going to take out of your escrow account your property taxes. They're going to pay that for you. Okay, it's like a layaway. Your escrow account is like a layaway account to be able to kind of think of it a little bit better. Your escrow account is like a layaway account. right? So you're paying into it monthly for the year. At that end of the year, your mortgage company is going to take out your homeowners insurance and it's going to pay your property taxes. Okay. Now, if your escrow account is short, say that for last year, your homeowners insurance was $1,000 and then it increased. Okay. There's an increase for the next year. Your insurance company say, hey, okay, we're raising some of these rates and there's an increase for the next year. Your escrow account is going to be short. All right. And so your mortgage company is going to send you a statement that says, hey, okay, for the next year, you're going to be short in your escrow account. And so we need to redo the numbers. Redoing the numbers, and there is an increase in your monthly note. Now, they usually give you some options. They'll say you can pay this lump sum of money and then your note will be this amount, or you can do nothing and we'll just increase it by whatever amount. It gives you, the mortgage company usually gives you some options when you're going to have a shortage in your escrow account. Okay. But I don't want you to be blindsided and thinking that your monthly note is going to stay your monthly note for the 30 years of that loan, because it's not. It is going to change. All right. Just like when you're renting an apartment, right? Every year that you go and sign a lease, there's an increase. Okay. And if you're renting, read your contract, because the same HOA fees that you pay as a homeowner you're paying it in the rent too. Some of these contracts have that in it. That's just a little tip. Read your contract. But so don't say that, well, I'm not paying all of these fees, I'm just renting. Read your contract. Okay. But when you're looking at your mortgage loan and you're looking at the monthly note, these are the things that's going to be included into the monthly note. So you have your mortgage, paying off back your loan. You have your property taxes, okay? You're going to have homeowners insurance. Your HOA fee is going to be annually. That's a separate bill, all right? But I want you to know about it. And then your MUD taxes, okay? So those are some of the things that I wanted to make sure that you understood why your monthly note is just not just your mortgage. There's other things that's included into that monthly note. So I want you to leave with at least one thing tonight, and that's don't shop for a home based on the list price. Okay? Have a loan officer run the numbers and look at the monthly note, and if that monthly note is going to fit into your budget. Okay, because that is the most important thing, right? The list price is important also, but your monthly note, is that going to be good for your budget? That's what you really want to know. I work with loan officers who, if I can give them the address, they will be able to pull up the property taxes and everything added into there and give you a general idea of how much that monthly note is going to be, even with a quoted price of homeowners insurance. And so you want to be able to get with those loan officers that can be able to give you that information from the beginning. So that way, when you do decide that you're ready to buy the home and you're ready to sign the paperwork, you're not blindsided with other fees that come in at the end and you know nothing about. Okay, so it's important that you're working with people who understand the process of purchasing new construction and how it works, and how it's going to benefit you as the homeowner. Okay, so I hope tonight's conversation helped make one part of the home buying process a little bit less confusing. You don't have to know everything, right? But when buying a home, Okay, you don't have to know everything before you're buying a home. You just need to know someone who's willing to explain it to you, and that's what I'm here for. That's the reason why I created these series, because I wanted to make sure that if you are in the process of even thinking about, maybe you're not ready now, but in 6 months you'll be ready, or a year you'll be ready, or you know somebody who is getting ready to start the process of the home buying process, these series here will be helpful to them. Okay, these are not just for new construction homes. Also, you don't have to buy new construction and say this is gonna just fit with new construction. It also goes with the resale homes, but I focus more on new construction because that's really what I like to sell, is new construction, right? But I'll sell anything. You don't have to buy new construction. I'm with you, whatever is going to be good for you. But I wanted to focus on new construction. One reason is because out here in Fort Bend County and the surrounding areas, we have so much new construction happening. We have so many new communities coming up, so many developers going out buying up land and stuff like that and building houses on. And I wanted to make sure that you understood the process when it comes down to it, so that you can make sure that you are making the best decision for you and your family. Okay, so if you found tonight's live helpful, please share it with someone. Like the post. If you have any questions about buying your first home or your forever home, send me a message. I'll be happy as always to have a conversation with you, just to give you some insight. That's what I'm here for. My whole goal is to educate you throughout the process. Okay, so thank y'all so much for watching. Next week we'll be talking about a topic that could probably save buyers thousands of dollars. My next week is going to be talking about builders incentives and what a great deal is and what's just marketing. Okay, because some of those builders incentives be looking wonderful on paper, all right, but then when you start really kind of looking at things, is that a good incentive for you, right? So if you've ever seen any of the ads that say free upgrades or closing cost pays and wondered what they really mean, you don't want to miss this one, okay? Because we're going to break it all down for you. So thank y'all so much for coming on with me tonight. Thank you for watching. And like I said, if I can help you in any way in purchasing your home, your first time home, your forever home, new construction, resale, whatever it is, please let me know. My name is Gwen Ransom, and I'm your intentional agent. And my number is 346-702-6748. And I appreciate y'all. And until next week, see y'all later.